How the heck are you guys? I am Fastidious, and I have a new hero guide for you. This is a guide for AEDRIN. I know I promised it like 2 or 3 days ago. It's coming now. I apologize for the wait, but I promise the wait was worth it because this guy is even better than I thought he was after I tested him for the first time, and I thought he was way better than I thought he was. He is so good. It's kind of crazy. Right now, we don't exactly have like a special use for him in this game. When I say special, I mean something he specifically will dominate at. In terms of general AoE physical damage, he's going to be fantastic. So that's a role he can fill. But the second we get a piece of content that needs that and a ton of survivability, this guy will be like God because his damage is so good. He's an HP-based DPS, and we are used to seeing non-attack-based DPS in this game be weak, to put it simply. He's not even close to that. I'm going to show you some content right now. We'll break down his kit, and then I'm going to show you some content that I actually think is going to blow your mind because it blew my mind. And a quick reminder, guys, if you like my stuff and you appreciate this guide, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and like the video. It's free to do, and it helps me so much. All right. Let's get into it. So if you don't know, Gear Dungeon 2 Stage 10 historically was the hardest stage. Very recently, we got 11, 12, and 13 added. That's kind of different content. I'll show that off in the future. But a great barometer for how hard an AoE DPS unit can hit is going to be the bottom lane in Gear Dungeon 2 Stage 10. It takes really strong units to handle this lane, and even then, a lot of them take really good gear. So like Volca can do it. She's a good physical AoE DPS, but she takes a very good build. You know, Ardia is probably the best at it. I would argue now AEDRIN's even better, but Ardia historically is the best at it. But even still, it kind of takes a little bit extra on the build. AEDRIN can beat this thing mindlessly. It's kind of hard to tell because of this weird purple glow, but Power of Dominance is absolutely off. I'll show you that again once we head into battle. But for now, I want to show you the build I'm going to run this guy in. It's not a bad build, but it is not a good build. I mean, it is full broken set on the right side. Basically, all we're looking for here is just our best HP bonus main stat, and then I'm hunting crit rate, crit damage, and attack speed in the substats. So a piece like this, not very good rolls, and then attack bonus, completely useless fourth substat. A piece like this, good rolls, defense bonus is okay, doesn't matter for this content. And then a piece like this, flat HP, that's obviously very good. We don't have attack speed, but then we're picking up crit rate and crit damage. So this is like really, really achievable because it's full broken set. Like none of the piece sets matter. Just aim for an HP bonus main stat on the right side and then crit rate and crit damage. And then hopefully you get attack speed. If you can't, get flat attack and you're kind of good to go. As for the left side, I'm running him in quads. These are essentially attack-based pieces that rolled poorly, so they don't even have attack bonus in the substats, but they got HP bonus instead. You probably have a lot more of these kind of pieces than you realize because they're kind of coded as not great pieces. But now that we have a great HP-based DPS in this game, these pieces are awesome. But you can see, once again, very low-end rolls that are still good, right? Like minimum purple, just above minimum, low purple, and then high blue. This one's a little bit better, but it's the same idea. You'll have pieces like this on your account if you look around, if you've done any amount of forging. And if you haven't, just run him in like Immortal Warrior and then run him in a right side set that works, which could really be anything. It could be Ageless Wrath, Infernal Roar, Cataclysm, Soulbound Arcana, heck, even a Wisdom set obviously would be a step up, right? Because this is just nothing. It's just broken set. With this build, he is easily going to clear the bottom lane, like easily. When I tried him originally and he blew my mind, I had him in a full Infernal Roar set on the right side. I had done some recasting. It was like pretty nice. It wasn't special. The rolls weren't that good, but it was pretty nice. I tried him again today and I was like, I wonder if he works with broken set. Yeah, like easily. It is going to really... I just want to show you. If we go to the artifact now, you'll see originally I ran him in a maxed out piece. I ended up selling that off and going for a basic version of his exclusive. You might be saying, oh, that's so annoying. Now I got to get his exclusive. At the time of filming this, there is a very easy free-to-play event live in game to craft his exclusive. So please do that. Get this for him because it increases his damage a lot. It gives him a lot more enhanced attacks, which you're going to see is key to his kit, and he is good to go. This is a pretty lackluster build. We're not running him with Rivenhald or anything crazy, just a King Hearts, as you can see right behind me, and he is going to easily clear this bottom lane. This is going to be a full guide though, so let me quickly take you through who he is, his talent, his skills, all of that good stuff. I'll try to go as fast as I can. Let's go into the base stats to start. So if we look over here, he has base HP of 24,674. Not great, but definitely not bad. He's an HP-based DPS, so we want as much HP as possible. This is a lot more than they give other HP-based DPS, so that's pretty good. The attack you can ignore. He doesn't use it. Defense is pretty high. It's not super high, but it's high enough that you can build him tanky. Magic resist is low. We do see that a lot with fighters. The cost is slightly high, which bothers me. If he was like 17 cost, I think there's even a lot of arena content you could use him in. Like I think an off-meta Northerner team would certainly be possible. He might still get play at lower levels, but at 20 costs, that's kind of tricky. 2 block is standard for a fighter. His attack interval is slightly slow at 3.5 seconds. You know, he does hit really hard, so I kind of understand where they're coming from, and he does lean very heavily on his basic attacks. His ultimate, he basically just starts getting revved up basic attacks on top of one big initial burst. But I will say, if he was like 2.6 seconds as a basic attack interval, he would be insane. He's already borderline insane, but he would be crazy. At that point, I would say he should probably be an ancient exclusive. So I guess they had to make him a little slower. Everything else very standard. I will say his rage regen based off of his attacks is slightly slow. But man, I can't wait to show you him. So let's keep going. Also, by the way, he's obviously in the North Throne and he's a fighter, single faction. I kind of wish they gave him dual faction with something else. I guess I don't know exactly what that would have been. Maybe Nightmare would have worked well. He is a physical AoE, so he doesn't fit that many places. I would say he could work in Chaos, but actually there's a lot in his kit that keeps his HP always above 30% as opposed to always below. So that's a little bit counterintuitive. But hey, he's single faction, but he's really, really good. And he does synergize well with his faction because you want him shielded as much as possible. He does some self-shielding, but bringing another unit that shields, or certainly a Northerner Lord that's giving shields from the Lord skill, even if that's just Dagna or Isolde, it goes a long way. I'm not bringing a special shielder here. It's just him self-shielding and then King Hearts with the periodic AoE shields from his Lord skill. So the talent. Each one of these sentences is like its own thing, as is standard for a talent, and he's got a lot of sentences, right? He's got a long talent. So let's try to go quick, but let's try to make it simple. He's an HP-based DPS. Damage scales off of HP. Now, the next part. When his HP is above 30%, he is going to deplete his HP before his shield when he takes damage. So until his HP drops below 30%, if someone's hitting him and he has a shield, it's not going to chip away at the shield. It's going to chip away at his health under the shield. This might sound bad, but it is very good because this ensures his shields last a lot longer, and you want him shielded as much as possible. Like, it is such a key part of his kit, and this part of the talent makes sure that happens. But now that kind of already is a positive, but this is a clear positive. As long as he's shielded, all the incoming damage is reduced by 1/5. Damage taken will be reduced by 20%. So you want to keep him shielded because, yes, it's going to hit his HP, but that's going to preserve the shield. And then those hits to the HP are less because he's getting reduced damage taken. Then, next part of the talent. Every 4 basic attacks, so every 4th one, he is going to deal an extra enhanced basic, and that's going to deal 300% damage. Originally, this only happens when he is shielded. However, he can always do enhanced basic attacks if you have his exclusive artifact. You can see, enhanced attack can also be triggered when the caster has no shield. That is key. If you can get his exclusive artifact, it is amazing. He's still good without it, but he's definitely a new level with it, to the point where having his exclusive artifact at base promotion, you know, no investment into it, is better than a maxed out Frigid Flame or Shattered Hilt, something like that. You can see then it gets better when he's ulting. The number of basic attacks it takes has now been reduced by 2. So every 2 basic attacks, he does the enhanced basic. So originally it's every 4th basic. When he's ulting, it's every 2nd. It's every other. Final part of the talent, when he deals damage, he will also deal extra damage equal to 30% of the current shield strength. So another reason you want to preserve that shield for as long as possible, and you want it to be as large as possible, because he's going to deal some extra damage scaling off of the size of that shield. So cool. I like this guy so much. His basic attack now, he deals 120% AoE physical damage, right? He's a physical DPS, a standard fighter, to up to 5 targets. So a pretty standard move here for a melee AoE unit. We see a lot of these AoE fighters, their basic attacks will only hit 5 units. When he ults though, this gets better. He immediately will inflict Ice Burn on up to 8 enemy targets in range when you cast his ult. So what is Ice Burn? It is a very unique, very cool effect. As long as the enemy is not an elite or a boss, they will immediately take damage one time equal to 1/5 of their HP. So they're just going to lose 20% of their health bar the second they're hit by this. And he can hit up to 8 enemy targets with this. Additionally, Ice Burn is a mark, and it will stay on those enemies for 25 seconds. And essentially what happens is AEDRIN has 25 seconds to kill those enemy targets, and if he kills them within those 25 seconds, upon their death, they will deal 150% AoE damage one time to up to 5 enemies surrounding the spot that they died in. This is really clutch because you're trying to kill all those Ice Burn enemies, and then this can be like a chain reaction, because when he does that initial blast hitting 8 enemy targets, he's marking 8 units with Ice Burn. And now you have 25 seconds to kill them. As they start dropping, they die, they explode, they hit other Ice Burn targets. That might kill them, and it goes boom, 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 boom. You can see the little Ice Burn mark right there above their head in this graphic. When it comes back, they enter the range, he does the Ice Burn, and they get that little frost above their head. This is very, very, very good. Now, the first way he self-shields, during his ultimate, he's going to gain a shield equal to 30% of his max HP each time an enhanced attack is triggered. This stacks up to 100% of his max HP. So you're going to quickly, within 4 enhanced attacks, get him to the point where he has a shield equal to 100% of his max HP. If they chip away at it, he can rebuild that shield throughout the ultimate. The ultimate is very long at 25 seconds. It's really good. When the ult finally ends, he's going to consume all his shields to deal 300% AoE damage plus additional AoE damage equal to all the shield strength to up to 8 enemy targets in range. So he starts with a big burst when he inflicts the Ice Burn and knocks down some of their max HP if they're not an elite or a boss, and he ends with a big burst dealing AoE damage and then extra damage scaling off of his shields again to 8 enemy targets. I know it's confusing, but trust me, it's good. The first passive, here's an extra feature that makes him being shielded so important. Whenever he's shielded, his HP grows by 20%. He gains an extra 20% HP, and he's going to get 15% extra penetration. And that amount of penetration is additive. So if he's getting penetration from another source, he's getting 15% more when he's shielded. And if he's not, well, that's a baseline, 15% penetration when he's shielded. The second passive, this one is pretty confusing. I'll try to simplify it for you. Essentially, he can do this effect where he converts half the damage he takes over a 6-second window into a shield that lasts for 15 seconds, and this can stack up to 50% of his max HP. So he takes damage over 6 seconds, and he can build a shield that can be as strong as half of his health. This has a cooldown of 30 seconds. However, every single time he triggers an enhanced basic attack, he will reduce this cooldown by 1 second. So if he's ulting and you're trying to get this cooldown to be reduced, he can bring it down to like 20 seconds instead of 30. Outside of his ult, it's more like 25, 26 seconds. It depends how fast you build him. But because this is basically an additional shield outside of his ultimate, it's just another way to keep shield uptime on him. So it's a 15-second shield that he's going to refresh every 20 to 25 seconds, plus he can self-shield from the ultimate. And then if you're running him with a Northerner Lord, that's another steady shield coming in. Finally, if you ran him with like a Gwendolyn or a Vortex, or if you had a Draylin, or if you had a King Hearts that's A1 or higher, if you had a Rivenhald, you can keep these shields going like all the time. So even if you don't perfectly optimize your team comp, he's going to be shielded all the time, but if you do, it's even better. That's the gist. He hits really hard. Keep the shields up. You're good to go. So the A1, this is going to improve his ultimate. So when he ults now, the hero immediately gains a shield equal to 80% of his max HP. Frankly, I think this A1 is like way overhyped because he can stack that shield up to 100 one way or another with or without the A1. So as long as he's ulting and he has things to hit and he's not taking a lot of damage, this gives him a stronger shield to start with. But if you keep the attacks going, he's going to end up in the same place. The A2 is very good, obviously. He gets extra HP. This makes him tankier. It leads to more damage, bigger shields, everything. The A3 is also quite nice. Targets inflicted with Ice Burn are going to take 30% increased damage from the caster. So you can think of this as like a unique kind of vulnerability he's putting out to help himself deal damage to targets already under the Ice Burn he puts out with his ultimate move with this nice AoE hit to start it. At the A4, he gets extra penetration. So this way, you get another 8% built into his kit. He gets the 15% additional from his passive. So his new baseline, basically, if you keep him shielded, is he's always ignoring at least 23% of the enemy defense. Finally, the A5, Frozen Bloodline, that is this passive over here. It will also grant 15% penetration to 2 shielded allies within 2 tiles. This is most useful in like boss content, something like Matrix. He's giving out more penetration. But all in all, he's great at A0. He's great in broken set gear. He's just super duper strong. So without further ado, let's get into it and let me show you this run. The one thing I want to say before we get into the run is everyone else is in very, very, very good gear. I kept the Awakenings low. You know, it's not like we've got an A3 Ireless that's healing him or something like that, but I don't really care about the other heroes because it's just about showcasing him. So I want to be able to focus on him, talk to you guys, and not worry about like my hot sit not being strong enough or something. So these other units are very, very well geared. All right, like I said, I'd show you once again, Power of Dominance is off. Let's head into battle. Whew, this guy's really good. I'm ready. All right, first things first, let's place AEDRIN. We don't have to worry about Invigoration or Wings of Grace or something on Ireless or whatever healer you use because he's not attack-based. So you can see I'm not wearing anything like that. Throw it on 2x now. As soon as we have 19 costs, I'm going to place Edith here. And already you'll get a little look. So he's shielded because I put him down. That's going to come from King Hearts from the Lord skill, right? And you can see his basics this is just setting a baseline here. They're hitting for like 80k without ulting, without anything else going on. That's already a really good sign. Volca hits for like 45 to 55k depending on the build. Let's get Valeria down there. She'll handle our left side. I'm not doing anything right now. I'm just going to let them chip away. And then I'm going to push this guy away, knock him back with Edith. As soon as the Banshee dies, let's ult with Edith and push away. Here's another thing. You can see he just takes a lot less damage because he's just tankier. There it's a little different the way it scales. But in general, with a Volca, with an Ardia, you could always be in fear of those units dying. So while I'm not saying he's going to deal more damage than Ardia, it kind of depends, but it's at least comparable enough. The key thing is Ardia can die because she's kind of like hurting herself. When you're dealing with the bottom lane, that can throw people's runs off. With him, you're like always good to go. You're never really worried about it because his HP is so high and he's constantly getting shields out. All right, let's get some more units placed. Draylin will handle the middle. We'll put Hotsit over here. And here's our first little test of AEDRIN. So I'm going to wait till they're all in his range. By the way, this is his range, right? It's like this little hammer. He's got his tile and then 2 rows of 3 in front of him. Very quickly, I'm going to go with Valeria there so I don't mess up. And now let's watch. This is going to be the initial Ice Burn effect. And look at that. He just chunked off instantaneously 300% health. And now, because he's ulting, he's doing the enhanced basic every other attack. So he hits for like 70k or so. You'll see in a second. Let's place Hex. 84k. And now this is going to be the enhanced one, 237k. This is with a completely broken set build. When I did some other builds, I was getting him to hit for like 600k, but then I just toned it down, scaled it back, because he's hitting with these enhanced hits every other attack for 25 seconds. The uptime on it is just crazy. So you actually don't need him that strong. We're going to let Valeria blow up there and die in a second, and you'll see he's got like half his ult left, and we're already done, right? Like, this is with a pretty bad build. It's a broken set for what I'd call like definitive late game content, right? Crazy. Let's get Nocturne placed there. Now we can focus. If you want to view this as a Gear Dungeon 2 Stage 10 guide, wait till Hex is done. And as soon as he gets this kill, we're going to pick him up. Okay, he needs to do 1 or 2 more hits. Great. Pick up Hex and place Nocturnes there. But now we're going to place a tank. We'll place Hearts. My hearts is A0, so he's not going to get shields from hearts. Even if he doesn't need them, either way. Let's wait a second. Now let's ult with hot sit. She takes care of that. Let's watch again and let's see what he can do. I'll also never ult with hearts just to keep it cleaner. All right, so wait till everyone's in the range so he can hit Ice Burn, get Ice Burn onto everyone. Now let's ult. Big burst, just chopped off 20% of all their health. None of these guys are bosses or elites, so that was like 289k, and now he just chunks them all away, just like that. With Draylin there to keep her alive. Goes on 2x. Again, he's got like half his ult left, and he's basically killed everyone. This guy took a little longer because he's only hitting 5 units at a time outside of the ult, but you saw that guy lost a ton of HP when everyone else died because they were all marked with Ice Burn, and they all exploded, and they dealt AoE damage, so on and so on. It's crazy. Like, he's killing the bottom lane as fast as anyone I've ever tested, and he's so tanky while he does it, and he's in a bad build. Let's pick up Nocturne right here. Wait for that bloodline. I'm going to place Valeria now. Let's ult with Draylin and ult with Hotsit. Doesn't really matter these other guys, right? The other guys I really geared out just so we could focus on the bottom here. All right, our next round of enemies for AEDRIN to destroy. I find this very fun. Let's quickly ult with Valeria so she's taking care of that. They're all in range. Here's the big burst. Boom, 289k again, and now he just chips them. 170k, 45. They're getting like tankier, and it just doesn't even matter. Get Hex placed here. Let's go with Draylin. Ult with Hex, and then look at AEDRIN just casually taking down the bottom. So there, we killed 5 of the 6. We can't kill the 6 all at once, but then we had those big AoE bursts, and now this guy's already almost dead too. Very, very good stuff. Down he goes. I'm going to get my Nocturne placed. Hope my Nocturne's tanky enough. That could throw the runoff. Keeping an eye on Hex till he gets this kill. Done. Pick up Hex. Wait a moment. All right, ult with Draylin, ult with Hotsit. Now we just let the Banshee do its thing on the bottom. Chip away at it. Ult with Nocturne now. All right, let's get a big hit with AEDRIN here as they come into range. Now I got to get ready. As soon as that Banshee dies, we got to push away. The Banshee's not going to die in time. I'm going to let it run. Even though one guy just got through. That was just weird Banshee timing. But you can see that's not his issue. But these guys, he's just eliminating, just deleting. And I don't know. This level of damage is just crazy. You know, it really is. Like it really, I hope you can appreciate it. And yeah, sorry one got through. That was just, it happens sometimes with annoying timing on the bottom. Maybe I didn't put my Edith in with enough block. Maybe she's in the wrong artifact, but that's not the point of this video. Let's get a pushback from Edith to buy us just a little bit of time. And now let's go with AEDRIN. Boom. Look at those hits. 222k. Every other hit. 71, 279, and they're just gone. Just like that. Just an incredible amount of damage. It really is. There aren't enough clean showcases for this stuff in the game, but I hope that kind of proves the point, right? I mean, that is just broken set, and he does it like it's literally nothing, you know? And once you guys start focusing and saving at least one good HP set of DPS gear, if this was Soulbound Arcana or Cataclysm, heck, even if it was Wisdom, like I said, it would be night and day. I mean, look at that, 48 million, and he did it like it was nothing. You know, we were killing with at least a third, if not more, time left in the ult every single time. That's going to be AEDRIN. Crazy, crazy guy in, like, I'm going to be honest, a pretty nothing build. Obviously, if you're at a lower stage, there you go. You can see if this ever goes away, power dominance was off. If you're at a lower stage, obviously the build can be even worse. Just crit cap this guy, crank the HP to the moon, then focus crit damage and attack speed, and you'll be very, very impressed. And I mean, look at this. Base level, exclusive, completely broken set. It's crazy. He's really, really good. I hope you appreciate the guide. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Fastidious. If you like my stuff, like I said, please subscribe to the channel. It's the easiest and best way to help me out. share it with your mother, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.
Fastidious.